This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 70, The Most Important Skill for Entrepreneurs and 7 Ways to Cultivate It, by Nick Loper of SideHustleNation.com. And I'm Dan. I am your host of the show. I'm here every single day reading to you from some of the best blogs on entrepreneurship. And with that, we're going to get right to our post from Nick as we optimize your life. The Most Important Skill for Entrepreneurs and 7 Ways to Cultivate It, by Nick Loper of SideHustleNation.com. What's the most important skill for entrepreneurs? Ask a dozen people and you'll probably get a dozen answers. Sales is a popular response. After all, if an entrepreneur can't sell customers on his product, team members on the vision, or investors on the potential, the business won't go anywhere. Hiring is considered another critical skill. Getting the right people on the bus, in good to great speak. But the most important skill of all? It's not sales or hiring or programming or anything like that. It's creativity. Creativity is something I've struggled with, but now realize it is the fuel for the entrepreneurial fire. Like oxygen, without it, nothing will burn. Every business, every project, every side hustle starts with an idea, a creative spark. Until you create something, you've got nothing to sell, nothing to inspire others, nothing to dent your universe with. I've had a hard time coming to grips with the profound importance of creativity. I mean, I'm not an artist or a musician. Who am I to be singing the praises of creativity? In fact, just last year, I was rejected for a local side hustle opportunity for not being creative enough. I definitely consider myself the left-brained, analytical, logical type. I love my straight lines and my Excel spreadsheets. I'm not creative, I thought. You may have heard the argument that creativity is systematically stamped out through our cookie-cutter education system. The common illustration of this is the experiment of asking a group of first graders how many of them are artists and watching a classroom full of hands shoot up, and then asking the same question to a group of 8th graders and listening to the crickets. For years, I bought into that argument because my definition of creativity was too narrow. Sure, I'm not composing sonnets or painting original murals, but I am creative. I've written books, hundreds of blog posts, and built websites. I just didn't recognize those works as creativity at the time. And the thing is, you are creative too. Like any skill, creativity can be exercised and improved upon with practice. In James Altucher's Choose Yourself, he calls this the daily practice. The skill is inherent in all of us, kind of like how you probably already have six-pack abs. They just might not be visible yet, hidden under a layer of fat. Here are some ways to bring that creativity to the surface that work for me. 1. Read. This one is tough because it's time-consuming, but I think it's worth it, both fiction and nonfiction. It puts your brain in a different world and can uncover ideas you never even knew were there. 2. Listen to podcasts. Some of my most creative moments have come while listening to podcasts. There's just something about hearing from other entrepreneurs that helps spark new ideas and projects. Even if you only act on a small portion of them, it still gets the juices flowing and it feels great. You can start with the Side Hustle Show. 3. Change your environment. Sometimes a change in work location can spark creativity. I normally work from my home office, either on the treadmill desk or sitting at a regular desk, but changing it up could be as simple as working from the kitchen table or on the outside patio. Bonus points for getting out of the house completely and going to the library, a coffee shop, or a co-working space. A different environment triggers a higher sense of alertness. Can't get to the coffee shop but like the ambient noise? Try Coffeetivity.com. 4. Drink coffee. As a former lifelong non-coffee drinker, I finally see the appeal in this magic elixir. I still don't drink it every day, but when I do, I feel like I could take over the world. In Jumpstart Your Business Brain, author Doug Hall observed a measurable creativity boost in his coffee drinking students compared with their non-caffeinated peers. Anecdotal? Yes, but try it. 5. Chat with your 6 degrees. Set up lunch dates, or better yet, coffee dates, with people in your network you don't normally see. The conversation will be fresh, and an outside perspective on your business can fuel some ideas you never really thought of. While in Vegas recently for Affiliate Summit, I was able to meet up with a couple people who had left a comment on my site or listened to the podcast, and it was awesome. 6. Swim. For whatever reason, swimming has always been a great stress reliever for me. I think it might be because the time in the water is isolated and quiet, leaving me alone with my thoughts, which can also be dangerous. There's no music or conversation and no scenery other than the black stripe on the bottom and a turn every 25 yards. It's the perfect place to work out your creative muscles at the same time as your other muscles. 7. Attend conferences and meetups. Surround yourself with like-minded and differently minded people and learn from them. I like to attend industry events just to see and hear what other people are working on. Even though there's a time and sometimes financial cost to attend, I always walk away with some new creative ideas. Why does creativity matter? It's what makes us human. It's what makes us entrepreneurs. The process of creation, of creating something that's your own, is one of the most rewarding activities you can do. And if there's a business opportunity in there somewhere, all the better. You just listened to the post titled The Most Important Skill for Entrepreneurs and 7 Ways to Cultivate It by Nick Loper of SideHustleNation.com. And now, if you're a startup owner, this is for you. Running a business is just plain hard. Endless to-do lists, employees to take care of, and your ever-present bottom line. So first of all, kudos to you for staying on top of it. But I want to tell you about Gusto. Gusto built an easier and more affordable way to manage payroll, benefits, and more. They help over 100,000 businesses with tasks like automated payroll tax filing, simple direct deposits, free health insurance administration, 401ks, onboarding tools, you name it, Gusto made it easy. 94% of customers say Gusto streamlines payroll and benefits, and we agree here on the Optimal Living Daily team. We use Gusto for our payroll. Plus, they really care about the small business owners they work with. Their support team is attentive and helpful, and since money can be tight right now, you'll get 3 months free once you run your first payroll. Just go to gusto.com/OSD and start setting up your business today. You'll see what I mean when I say easy. Again, that's 3 months of free payroll at gusto.com/OSD. gusto.com/OSD. And thank you to Nick. He used to work full-time for a giant corporation but built his business during nights and weekends. And as he alluded to in this post, he's also the host of the podcast, The Side Hustle Show. It's for part-time entrepreneurs looking for actionable tips to start or improve their businesses. It's a great podcast and usually right up there at the top of the charts of the business podcasts in Apple Podcasts. Definitely worth checking out. And the blog is great too, of course. You can come by SideHustleNation.com for a lot more. And that's it for episode 70 of Optimal Startup Daily. I will be back with you tomorrow where I'll have a post from Margot Aaron. So I'll see you there, where your optimal life awaits.